Yes, Larry, telling me to start up. So, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, December 6th, 2021. I'm going to call Prescott Planning Commission meeting to order. We'll take roll call. Got Josh? Here. Rob? Here. Connie?
Here.
Closer?
Here.
Steve?
Here.
Todd's here. And Matt's here, and I'm here. Oh,
Steve Most.
Steve's in here, right? I'm at that Steve. Yeah, Steve's absent. And Israel's here. All right, that was roll call. It's approval of the minutes of November 1st, 2021.
Motion to approve the minutes. I'll second the motion.
Motion made, second, approve the minutes of November 1st, 2021. Any other discussion on the motion? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is the site plan review for 117 Broad Street. I assume they were not gonna be here, they were.
Tom tomorrow was supposed to be here with Two Rivers, but I'm not seeing him obviously.
All right, well, let's see what we can come up with.
Okay, so quickly just run through. Back in August 2nd, the Planning Commission reviewed a concept plan for a two-story deck that was approved 7-0. The site is a 0.3 acre site, was constructed back in 1950. Originally, that was a bar tavern called the Pilot House, 4,668 square feet. There have been two major alterations since then, the most recent in 2019 when Two Rivers did buy it, the alterations. This is again a proposed addition that would add two-level deck. The first level is 3,472 square feet, and then the second level would be 3,750 square feet. You can see there the aerial view. The back or rear of the building, which is one thing we talked about, the concept plan is actually 6 inches off the right-of-way. So it is off the right-of-way. You can see there the sidewalk kind of in relation to there. Kind of gives you a visual representation of what it will look like. Since it is a C1 zone site, there are no parking requirements per our city code. Give you an idea of what it looks like off of Broad Street. The first level will be ADA accessible. There'll be a direct ramp that connects to the current sidewalk that will lead onto that first level, and then a set of steps will connect to the second level. You can see there is some proposed signage that's being added to the rear of the building. We'll have to pay the required sign permit as part of this as well. And then the aerial just showing what the building and deck will look like once completed. As part of this project, one of the things they will have to do to get that 6 feet off the back of the building will be to get some proposed right-of-way. The proposed right-of-way is 0.06 acres, which will have to be vacated as part of this process. To give you an idea of the schedule, December 6th, which they'll be looking for your approval or your consideration and recommendation tonight. And then December 15th is the council approval. And then we'll have 3 consecutive weeks of vacation of the right-of-way and a paper of record, and then January 24th will the city council resolution under consideration for approving that vacation of right-of-way. The conditions of approval that are within that resolution that is being moved on to city council has that they all have to pay for and receive their applicable permits. The owner needs to get approval for that vacation of right-of-way. The applicant in general is responsible again for removing any and all debris from Broad Street and Front Street as part of the construction process. They will be swept daily if needed or as necessary. There won't be any parking along Highway 10 or Broad Street as part of the construction process. The developer also, as part of that right-of-way vacation, will be paying $700 fee to our parks and the applicable impact fees, which is an additional $1,450 for the vacant land that is being developed as part of the commercial property. All ground surfaces will be that will be impacted need to be seeded prior to completion of the construction. Permanent signage will need to have their permits paid and reviewed as part of the city per ordinance, and then erosion control will be to prevent deterioration of soils draining into public streets in the stormwater system. So with that before you is a recommendation to approve the project based on the resolution and conditions. If there are additional conditions the Planning Commission would like to see, those could be added as well as part of the discussion. So I'll turn over to the Planning Commission for discussion and comment.
Do you have any questions or thoughts?
I think Tom had just came in and he's out here as well if you have any question for.
Anybody have any questions all on the project or the conditions? None, no. All right, I would recommend motion to recommend approval by the council.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the site plan as presented with the conditions of 117 Broad Street. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Good presentation, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. That was easy. You guys are done. Next item on the agenda is the amendment to the next item on the agenda is the amendment to the comprehensive outdoor recreational plan.
That's me as well.
Alright.
So just a little bit of background, the city has been working on developing more recreational trails for over the past year. This has been led by a group called the Cooley River Trails, which developed a concept plan for additional trails in the community. Based on their work, a revised version has been added to the city's CORP, which is the city comprehensive outdoor recreation plan, for the planning commission to review tonight. The system is a combination of work done by that CRT group, the National Park Service, and additionally public input. The Parks and Public Property Committee reviewed these changes and passed them by a vote of 3-0. So there is a map in front of you that shows the overall system as proposed. Really the updates come in page 25 and 28 of that CORP. Just to note before going over kind of the trail system, part of the trail system is in Oak Grove Township. That there's no control over that system being development in terms of by the city. That would fully be at their discretion if they wanted to propose updating their own CORP and enforce the development within the Oak Grove Township. The only reason it is being included is just to show the overall vision of the whole trail system that is being proposed. Any possible trails that are developed, again, this would be used for hiking, biking, cross-country skiing, dog walking, and running. To note, as you look at the map, there's a combination of private developers, or private landowners, I should say, and public space. Specifically, a large chunk of it is owned by the school district that has been supportive and receptive to the idea of the trail development. Additionally, in McGee Park as well, which is currently owned obviously by the city. All other areas of the city are private landowners, so either they'd have to be willing participants in terms of selling us or giving us an easement or selling land, or as development occurs as part of this amendment process, we could then enforce the development of these trails as part of those developments moving forward. So kind of a timeline, there really is a long, lengthy process. There's no timeline in terms of this would be happening next year or the year after that. There's a lot of money that obviously needs to go into developing these trails. It would be a combination of really developers, city funding, private organizations, and then whatever state and federal grants are available. Again, that whole implementation depends on what kind of funding is available from those sources. Really long term. And really, again, just to stress, this amendment only makes it possible to enforce trails as part of development that occurs within these areas planned long-term. So, questions, comments, asking for you to review the changes as proposed and make any recommendations and then cast a vote in support or denial of the CORP amendment.
Anybody have any thoughts?
Is the city gonna have to purchase some of this property, or just gonna be all, the private property? Is that up to the landowners to go ahead and?
So what, we're having actually a workshop tomorrow with City Council, to have kind of a discussion of what they'd like to see, but the idea would be that if they're ADA compatible trails, that the city would take on the maintenance of those. If they're on private land, if it's not planning on being developed, that's one of the options we could look at long-term if we want to see it develop. But ideally, what would happen is the private owners would develop it, and then at that time, the trail would be built by a private developer.
So it's kind of a combination, Walter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
All right.
the developer
Yeah.
develops, we're gonna say, guess what? This is on our plan, that's gonna be in your plan as part of your development. That's kind of how you do that.
All right.
We do have an ordinance that says sidewalks on every side of the street, which we haven't enforced. We say, hey, maybe not every street should have one, but we should have something. And so when they come in and say, well, geez, you don't have sidewalks anywhere else, well, but we're starting it, here's our plan. Eventually, it would, we'd have sidewalks that would get people to and from and here and there.
So then the private property, if it's developed, is the city responsible for maintaining that and cleaning it, or is the,
It depends on if it's like a sidewalk or a multi-use trail. Multi-use trail, we might plow it with snow plows. Sidewalks in front of, let's say, anybody's house right now, it's the owner's responsibility.
okay.
You know, so it's a combination. Depends on how we want to pursue it. You know, out in the woods there, if it's up in the trees, yeah, it's gonna be either city or it's just rustic. Cross-country snowshoeing in the summertime. And it doesn't mean the city wouldn't maintain it, but do we own it? Maybe not.
Right, okay.
And do we maintain it? Yes and no, just depends on what it is.
All right.
That's what I got out of Matt, and I think that's, Israel would say the same thing. It's kind of a combination. But again, once it's on, biggest reason we're putting it on here too is if we can get a grant, maybe to buy the land so we put the trail in, as long as we show it on our map saying, hey, this is our proposal, we wanna do this, you're more likely to get the grant. But if this wasn't on here at all and you say, hey, we want money to buy that land because we're gonna put trail, well, where's your plan? You don't have one. So that's kind of one of the bigger reasons.
All right.
Any other questions?
Israel, what does Kim Christensen think about this?
You gotta come up and talk. I'm gonna be mean to him.
Somebody's going through this.
Yeah,
Kim Christensen has been part of this project from the beginning. He's one of
Okay.
our most engaged and active participants in the overall Cooley River Trails project. So I don't want to speak for him, but he is fully engaged on this whole process. We're actively working with other entities in an attempt to acquire his property and preserve it. But that's something that would be part of this ongoing process.
That's encouraging.
It could be
Yep.
10, 15
Yeah.
years.
Yep, for Kim's sake, we're hoping it happens faster than that.
Right.
But we have already begun this process. I can't talk about the details of it in a public setting, but yeah, we're making strides.
Good.
okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Israel. Anybody else have questions? If not, then I'd entertain a motion. I think is it to approve the or to recommend council approve the resolution, right? I think I seen that in my packet. Is there one at the end or not? Yeah, resolution.
Yeah.
And the planning, is this a planning commission resolution?
No, it's council director.
council.
We're just
So-
looking for
Yeah.
planning commission.
We could recommend, council approve the resolution 3321, which updates the corp.
Just an update, yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second,
Go ahead, Colin.
Connie second, motion second, to approve or recommend council approve resolution 3321, which updated our outdoor comprehensive plan, direct plan.
it would be nice when we get some trails.
Yes, it will. Any other discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is our planning commission schedule. Go ahead, Matt, I'll let you present that.
So not really needing a vote on this one, this was more so just to put forward the meeting dates in front of you, and also to let you know, one of the things that we've had some issues with is that people try to turn in stuff at the last minute, so we're proposing adding an agenda cutoff date that gives us 30 days, specifically because we need our city engineer to review some of these plans as it relates to stormwater. So the agenda cutoff date is the first Monday of the month preceding the commission meeting. So as you can see there, like December 1st, we'll give them some leeway as we work into this in case there's some ones that come in late, and we'll try to send it out. But December 1st of this month, or which was, I guess, 5 days ago or 6 days ago now, would have been for the January 3rd meeting. So
Right.
just more so to keep you all informed as we work forward. Talked with the mayor today too, trying to update our fee schedule as well. So we'll update our applications as well, so we get a better sense of what we all need to get to you guys to make sure that you can make the decisions as they relate to future planning.
All right, Matt? Is there any other business that the planning commission members have? Matt, do you have anything?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I see they started tearing down the parsonage over there,
They
that
did.
building on
Yeah,
Canton Street.
That's good, yep. Well, the Parsons bummer. but-
is the yoga studio gonna go forward? Has she bought that property?
I don't know if has she bought it? I don't know.
She did.
According to the mayor, yes.
Okay, she did get it?
I got the inside scoop.
Okay.
She did though.
Okay,
I know she's
Well,
working
that's-
on the planning commission full submittal
Right.
to
Yeah, no, she bought it from my cousin, so that's why I know.
Well, okay.
But everybody in town is your cousin.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not, are you?
No, because I wasn't born and raised here. I brought fresh blood into the,
Fresh or bad blood, which one is it?
depends what day.
Well, Lord, between the combination of the two of us sitting here, we gotta both be related to damn everybody.
Half of it, half the city maybe, yeah. So I got a motion and a second to adjourn. These two guys said that earlier.
Yep.
So all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody, for your participation.
You guys saw the plan for the yoga studio on Instagram.